Namaste, everybody, and welcome to Round Glass. I'm Yeshe Rabgye, and I'm here sitting in the forest in the Himalayas from India. So, thank you so much for joining me today in this session. It's the first session of a series of 8 about relieving anxiety during stressful times. Today in the session, we're going to be doing a breathing awareness practice that is going to steady your mind, bring you into the present moment so you're able to, you know, deal with whatever stress and anxiety and challenges that are going through at the moment. So, thank you for joining me. And how are you feeling at this moment? I'd really like to know how you're feeling. Are you feeling a little stressed or a little anxious, or are you feeling excited? So just leave your comments in the chat so I can see and we can interact with each other. So, anxiety. So, anxiety, a little bit of anxiety, is about being human. We all have this quality. And sometimes a little bit of anxiety gives us that push. Maybe you've got a meeting to go to and it's in front of the boss and you're getting a little bit nervous. So, a little bit of anxiety there can give you that extra push you need. But it's when this anxiety comes up and we're not really sure why it's there or it's lasting long time, that's when it becomes a problem for us. And that's when we need to deal with it. Myself personally, when I was young, I was extremely shy. Now, people who know me now can't believe that to be true, but it is true. I was extremely shy. When I was a little child, if somebody spoke to me, I would go and hide behind the back of my mother. And that shyness led to social anxiety. And my friends would go out to parties, and I would make lots and lots of excuses because I had this anxiety. I had this feeling that, what am I going to say? I always thought that. I don't know what I can say. We're at a party for a couple of hours. What can I talk about? And it was only when I started doing meditation and started to do breath work and focus on my breath and calm myself down and give me the opportunity to actually open my mind up and look at this anxiety that actually then helped me to let go of that anxiety. So the practice we're going to do today has worked for me. I can vouch that this practice is a great practice to do, just focusing on your breath. So if anybody has anything they want to share on the now, they can put it in the chat. So, and I want to thank everybody who has already shared actually. So I see that Chloe is feeling a little restless, and Donna says that she's feeling a little bit anxious, but she doesn't really know why. And that's what I was talking about. Sometimes that anxiety is there, and we're not really sure why we're feeling that anxiety. So it's at these times where we need to be doing these breathing awareness practices. RB says that they're feeling a little nervous because it's the first time on this platform. Don't be nervous. It's the first time on this platform for me as well. So we're in this together. And N Wheeler says he's feeling a little overwhelmed, but hopefully for a few minutes of peace. Yeah, I'm sure that we can give you that peace. And Elizabeth is feeling inspired and maybe a little chaotic. And yeah, join the club. My mind is also a little chaotic at the moment. And Agnello is feeling great. Agnello always feels great. I know that. So if there are any questions that come up during this practice, then please just put them into the chat box. And when I have the opportunity, then I'll answer them for you. So the practice that we're going to be doing today, as I say, is a breathing awareness practice. It's a practice where we're going to be focusing on our breath. So to begin with, I'll settle you down and we'll get nice and comfortable and relaxed. And this is the key. It's actually the key for all types of meditation is just relax. The more you relax, the better it's going to be for you. So if you're thinking, am I doing it right? Am I sitting right? Am I breathing right? Then, of course, you're going to get yourself even more anxious. There's no wrong way here. We're just breathing and we're just focusing on the breath. So please just calm down, relax, and enjoy. So, to start with, we're going to do three calming breaths just so we're nice and calm and relaxed. Then we're going to be counting in breaths. So we're going to, as we breathe in, we'll count one. And then as we breathe out, and then breathe in and count two, and breathe out. And we'll count the in breaths all the way up to 10. And when we reach 10, we'll come back and start counting from one. Then I'll say the stop counting that, and we'll start counting the out breaths exactly the same. We'll be counting from 1 to 10, and when we reach 10, we'll come back and start counting from 1. And the final part is we're going to stop counting altogether and just sit there and just watch the breath as it gently flows in and flows out. Now, it's at this point that many thoughts are going to pop into your head. Don't worry about that. When you realize you're thinking, it's not a problem. Gently come back and start watching your breath flowing in and flowing out. If you think again, just gently come back. Don't think those thoughts, don't think of them as a distraction. Think of them as part of the meditation. When you're breathing and watching your breath, it's a moment of awareness. When you realize now, oh, I'm thinking, it's a moment of awareness. So just keep gently coming back and relaxing. At the end, we're going to do a reflection practice where you have a minute or so just to sit quietly and reflect back. How was this practice? How did it work for you? And maybe at that point, you'll have many questions to ask. So then you can put them in the chat window, and then I'll happily answer all your questions at the end. So now let's just settle ourselves down. So to begin with, I want you to just sit comfortably. So you don't need to be sitting on the floor. If you are, that's great. Don't. But if you're sitting on a chair, just put your back straight and then drop those shoulders so you sink down and you're nice and relaxed. If you are sitting on a chair, just make sure your feet are flat on the ground, a little bit apart so you're nice and steady. If your legs are crossed or they're too close together, we can wobble a bit and it'll take us away from the meditation. Your hands, just put them somewhere in the lap where they're nice and comfortable for you. When we do the meditation, we'll lightly close the eyes. If you don't want to close your eyes, and if you're feeling a little anxious and by closing your eyes makes matters worse, it's okay. Just look down on the floor. Pick a point on the floor and just focus your awareness on that. But if you can close your eyes, it's always a good thing to do. So get yourself nice and comfortable. And as you're sitting there, just listen for any sounds that you can hear around you. This will help you bring yourself into the present moment. And now just very slowly start to scan down your body, like at this pace, going down your body. Just see, am I holding any tension here? If there is any tension there, then just soften that area and continue to relax and scan down your body. Just get yourself nice and settled. Okay, so now lightly close your eyes or just look down on the floor, find a point on the floor and look at that. And we're going to begin by doing three calming breaths just to relax ourselves and get ourselves nice and settled into the meditation practice. So breathe in slowly and deeply through your nose and hold the breath And breathe all the air out through your mouth. And really push all that air out. And breathe in. And hold. And breathe out. Breathe in. Hold. And breathe out. And now breathe normally. So here, don't force your breath. Just allow it to find its own natural rhythm. Your body knows how to breathe. So there's no need to put any effort in here. And just become aware that now I'm breathing in, and now I'm breathing out. And leave your awareness on that. And when the mind starts to wander, and it will wander, just gently keep bringing it back to watching the breath. And remember, relax. So now, as you're watching your breath, I want you to start counting your in-breaths. So count 1 as you breathe in, and then breathe out, and 2 as you breathe in, and count all the way up to 10. And when you reach 10, then just start back at 1 again. So start counting your in-breath. So continue to count your in-breaths for 1 more minute. Now you can stop counting the in-breath and begin to count your out-breaths. So again, count from 1 to 10 and then start back at 1 again. And if your mind wanders off, gently bring it back and start focusing on the breath and counting again. So count your out-breaths. And we'll do this for another 2 minutes. So continue to count your out breaths for 1 minute. So now stop counting the out breath and just leave your awareness on the fact you're breathing in and you're breathing out. No need to count anymore, but just experience every breath. What does it feel like when I'm breathing in and when I'm breathing out? Maybe at this point you're getting a lot of thoughts. It's okay, don't worry. Just gently keep coming back and watching your breath. And give yourself permission to relax, calm down. By watching our breath in this way, it's brought us into the present moment. It's allowed us to stop thinking about things that were stressing us out and making us anxious. It's calmed us down. And it's given us the opportunity to face any challenges and difficulties we may be going through at the moment. So just continue to watch your breath for the next 30 seconds. So now I'd like you to check in with how you're feeling at the moment. Don't judge your feelings or try to analyze them or change them in any way. Just become aware of the feelings and just sit with those feelings a moment. So now, before we end the meditation, I want you to reflect on how did it make you feel? What experiences have you had during the meditation? Did the meditation work for you? Just reflect back for a moment on this whole experience. But remember, don't judge yourself here. When you're reflecting back, do it with self-caring and compassion and empathy for yourself. So now just very slowly start to open your eyes. If you were looking down on the floor, just move your gaze up and let's just sit here a moment, just gently bringing ourselves back into our rooms. Maybe you want to take one or two deep breaths in through the nose and out through the mouth. Just really feel that calmness and that relaxation all over your body. So when you're feeling anxious and stressed or overwhelmed, then use a breathing awareness meditation like this, where you can really bring yourself back into the present moment. You can calm yourself down. When our mind is calm and we're in the present moment, we're able to deal with whatever the challenges we're having. When we allow our minds to tell stories or let our imaginations run wild, we can't deal with that and it just makes us more stressed and more anxious. When that happens, just sit quietly, do a breathing awareness practice like this. Relax your mind, calm your body, bring yourself into the present moment and make yourself feel alive again. So thank you for joining me in this session. If you have any questions now, then really I'd love to hear the questions and I'll be so happy to answer them for you. So maybe you can tell me what your experience was like and did it work for you and what part worked better for you. So please write in the chat now and I'll answer those questions for you. If you're new to meditation, this may have been a little difficult for you, particularly when we wasn't counting. When we do the practice and we count the breath, it's giving ourselves another thing to focus on. So it really helps the mind to stay focused. So then when we stop counting, then that's when our minds wander off. So don't worry if that happened to you, that's perfectly normal. It happens to all of us. So don't let that put you off doing meditation practices. So write in the chat now exactly how you have felt about this meditation. And, some of you were saying at the beginning you were feeling a little anxious, a little overwhelmed. So, how are you feeling now? Have you calmed down? Are you feeling better about yourselves? When you do meditation practices like this, it's good to set yourself an intention. So we're not talking about a goal. We don't have to set ourselves a goal here that I want to reach this point. But an intention is good. Just so, my intention for doing the meditation today is just to sit down and relax and really, you know, pull myself away from whatever is happening. So set an intention, because then at the end you can look back and say, did I reach that intention? So somebody is saying, oh, somebody did say something, but then it's gone from my teleprompter. One moment. So when I do breathing meditation, I find my breathing becomes dysregulated, and I spend most of the meditation trying to re-regulate my breathing. Do you have any suggestions? Yeah, you see, that is normal. So, when we start to focus on the breath, it starts to become unnatural for us. If I said to you, focus on your breath, then your mind wants to think. If I said, now think, your mind wants to focus on the breath. Don't worry about that. The more you relax, the more that breathing will become regulated. Don't try to regulate it yourself, because at that point you've pulled yourself away from the meditation practice, and now you're just trying to sort your breathing out. As I said during the meditation, our body knows how to breathe. We don't have to force that body to breathe. So just relax, allow it to breathe, and then that breathing will come down. So maybe at the beginning it is a little bit out of sync, it seems a little bit dysfunctional. That's okay. Don't worry about it. The more that you relax and just watch the breath, don't try to change it, the more naturally it will slow down. So don't try to regulate it, it will regulate itself. So somebody's asking, can I meditate anytime I feel anxious or anxiety? Yeah, you can if you have that opportunity. So maybe an easier thing to do when, if you're in a busy situation, is to do a mindfulness breathing exercise. So, just become aware that I'm breathing in and breathing out. If you have the opportunity to sit down and meditate, and then yeah, do that. But if you don't, and you have this anxiety, then don't try to think, oh, then I'll wait for an hour or two till I've got time, because the anxiety will grow. So do a breathing awareness practice. Just watch your breath as it's coming in and as it's going out. If you want to count it in and out, you can count it, but just focus on your breath. As I was saying, when you focus in on the breath, it's pulling you away from whatever is making you stressed and whatever is making you anxious. So if you can meditate, great. If you can't, then do some sort of mindful breathing awareness practice. So thank you so much for joining me today in this first of my live sessions. So we have 7 more sessions to do in this series. So I hope you can come and join me. So please follow me on my profile to practice this session again. The session will go onto the profile for you to go through again. And also you can see when my next live session is coming up. So thank you so much for joining me. Have a great evening or a great day ahead. Namaste.